So the Spurs are on a playoff drought, right? But is it all on Wemby for them to get into the postseason?
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome back to Locked On Spurs, right here on the Locked On NBA Network. I'm your host, Jeff Garcia, Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Glad to have y'all back. And, hey, short work week, right? Yeah, it'll be Friday. Will be here before you know it. So hope you all are having a great day, great work day, all that good stuff. As always, thank y'all for making Locked On Spurs your first listen each and every day. If you're in the middle, wherever you get podcasts, you know where to go. iTunes, Spotify, Ken's 5 Plus app, YouTube. The list goes on and on. Go subscribe right now. We appreciate all the subscriptions. So what are we talking about today? Spurs on a playoff drought, right? It's been a while since we've seen action beyond the 82-game slate. And a lot of, people out there, talking heads, Vegas, whatever, they have the Spurs winning well above 40 games. Would that be enough for this team to get into the postseason? Maybe. But this team has a good shot at it. But is it all on Wemby? Is it all on the franchise player to finally step up, put his imprint, put his foot down to say, you know what? I'm going to carry this team beyond the last 82 game of the regular season. I'm going to get them into play, and I'm going to get them into the postseason. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that, and then look at some fan comments left on the YouTube page, so we'll bring that up later on the show. It's going to bring in our guest, everybody. He is Mr. Casey Vieira, my good friend. He's on S at Casey_Vieira. Casey, welcome back to Locked On Spurs. Good
topic we have today, because it gets to every point with some of these all-stars where these conversations are finally deservedly had, and it's good sometimes because it means you're doing things the right way.
Yeah,
but at the same time, it's like, all right, there's a level of accountability that we're waiting on.
Yep.
I'm glad we're touching on this today, Jeff.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, everybody, Casey and I were kind of going back. We had Wemby, on the target zone right there. We just didn't know how to attack this, but I think this is the best way because, as I mentioned in the intro, Casey, Vegas has this team winning well above 40 games, like 44, 45. The West, that gets you at least into the play-in. That's good. I think the bar set low, Casey, for this silver and black team. Well, they get into the play, and that's like, thank goodness, something. But it's still not technically the postseason. And I'm pretty sure, Wemby, the rest of the crew, Mitch Johnson would love to see the Spurs finally break out of that drought and into the postseason. And I think we got to start off, we'll get to Wemby in just a few seconds, but I think we got to look at the makeup of the West. It's going to be tough. They got a lot of good teams out there, from Denver to OKC, Dallas. Despite what everybody said about Luka, that team is still looking pretty good. Can't forget about Houston. So just the West itself is, this Spurs team's gonna have to really bring their A game this season, right, Casey?
It's a gauntlet, and it's everything is advertised, because all those teams that you just said, and there's always the teams that don't expect to show up. They show up and they pull something off as well.
Yeah.
Every year the West is loaded. We know that. Every year for however many years, there's always been that much of a gap between them and the Eastern Conference, and it's only going to be more prevalent again this year with Boston's injuries. And it's the Spurs are in a spot, and you and I a couple of weeks ago we talked about this, where they can find themselves anywhere realistically from like third through 10th. Because all it takes is maybe like 1 4 5 game win streak at the right time, or 1 4 5 game losing streak at the right time, and it separates what's the 3 seed and the 10 seed, which honestly, in my mind, the way I see it, could be like 5 games between 3 and 10 this year. That's how I think. And I'm not going to fight most people about who they want to put in the middle of the pack there, because a lot of it's interchangeable in my mind after OKC and Denver, and probably Houston. So 4 through 10 probably is a little more interchangeable, but they got a task at hand, and they got. I think they are a play-in caliber team. I think
for sure
are also a playoff caliber team. But that said, there's very little margin for error this season.
Yeah, there really is,
without a doubt.
The worst case scenario for me is how they start the season, because schedule wise, it's kind of light. They don't have a lot of heavy hitter teams to start the season. I think like for the first 10 games, they're winnable, at least as of now. So I think the way they start off will really set the tone.
I'm gonna bring it up just so it's fresh on my mind and I don't miss anything here. Continue your thought. Go ahead.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you're going to look at the schedule real fast, but I mean, they start 2 games on the road. Nevertheless, they got, outside of that Dallas game to start, but the road to at least the start of the season will be okay for the Spurs. I'm pie in the sky dreaming here. I can see this team running off a good 5, going 5-1 for 6 games, 7-1 to start the first game. I mean, they should win some of those games. Now, will they dominate? We don't know, but I think they're just winnable games. But nevertheless, the West is going to be tough. Mm-hmm. And look.
You're right. I'm just looking at this schedule. You're right, because 2 road games, Dallas and New Orleans, then 3-game homestand after that, Brooklyn, Charlotte, Miami. There's no reason they'll probably go 3-2, but there's a very realistic world where they can go win 4 or 5.
Yeah. That Dallas game will be interesting to start off the season. But nevertheless, I think they got to start off strong to help at least give them some pad, because I think after those first 10 games, then it's pretty much it's winning time. We'll see. Their mettle be tested after those first 10, 11 games. So, which leads us to Wemby. So, and the focus of this conversation. We had this talk before we started, like, oh, no, Casey, what side do you want? Do you want to say it's all on him? Or you don't say it's all on him? You brought up a good point. I don't know if we're there. You know what? No, yes, I'm going to say it. I think we're there yet. I think it's time for him to step up, to put his foot down, put his mark on this team. And you know what? I am the man. I am the man on the offense. I am the man on the defense. I am the first option. I am the first option on every play when I'm out in the court. It is him, and it's time. Rookie season, fine, Wemby. It's your rookie season. You're still kind of slat of frame. You got injured. Fine, whatever. Moving on. Second season. Yay, Wemby's looking good. All-star berth. Good for you. But then the blood clots. Fine, Wemby. But now you are clear to go. You added more size. You have 2 years of NBA experience. You're well-rested. You got yourself a squad with you now. You better lead this team beyond the 82-game regular season schedule. I believe it's up to him. If he wants to be that dog, he wants to be that franchise player, be that comparable guy to, he has that Mamba mentality, Kobe Bryant. Oh, he's the heir apparent to Duncan and Robinson. That franchise guy, put this team on your shoulder, guide them out of the 82-game schedule, and let's take some postseason action in San Antonio. I think it's time, Casey. He needs to be that guy.
I know you're talking about when we were mapping this out, who's going to be the good guy, who is going to be the bad guy. I think we're both the bad guy here, because I agree. Yeah, I agree. There's no, barring injury, with injury being really the only caveat, there's no excuse anymore.
No, there is
not to make the playoffs, to not be a play-in to at bare minimum. Because when he first got here, like you said, it was a rookie. Oh, he's got nobody else to play with. Oh, he doesn't have a point guard. That was a rookie year. Fine. Last year, same kind of deal. Doesn't have anybody to play with. They get Fox here. Fox obviously plays pretty well with Victor, but can't do anything about the blood clot circumstance. This year, barring a setback, whether it be with the blood clot or something else, there is no caveat to this. There is no, in my mind, real rational explanation, defense if they don't make it. And where does that start? It starts at the top. It starts with it comes with the territory. It comes with the territory of being a top 10 player, top 8 player in the league, which he is for sure. And I think this year, that's probably one of the aspects that I'm most looking forward to watching Victor play this year, because in his time he's been in the league, has the pressure ever been on him? No. From a win-loss standpoint, from a team success standpoint,
no.
The pressure.
I don't think
the spotlight's been on him. The pressure go up,
right?
In the first few months, because the novelty was there. There's the pressure of being LeBron, but the pressure to win It's never been there.
It's never really been there. No. And think about it too.
No, it is. And now rightfully so, it should be.
Yeah. And I'm glad you brought up some stuff because he seems to, again, through no fault of his own, he's not the team GM. He's not a person who can see the future and be like, oh my God, we're going to get Fox and then he's going to get injured. You can't see that. But it's still, excuse after excuse. The team's not well built. Now they're going through a rebuild. Oh, he got hurt. He's just a rookie. What do you expect? Joker's been there, done that. He's beating him up. Look at Davis, Anthony Davis, just eating him alive. Giannis. Okay, and you keep on moving on. The second season, blood clots. Oh, darn it. But I just feel this upcoming season, third season already. I can't believe it should have been 3 years since the Spurs drafted him.
I was thinking about that the other day.
Yeah, it goes by fast. Yeah, it goes by fast. He needs to do it. And I feel like if you look at a checklist and go through all the excuses that you brought up right now and I brought up, I go, well, you can cross this off. He's got a point guard. Well, you can cross this off. He has an all-star running mate. Well, you cross this off. He's got backup bigs now to keep him, going and take some pressure off him. You just go on and on and on and on. Got a fresh new coach. The guy that trained him personally. That was his one-on-one player development. The guy he advocated for, that's his coach right now. And the list goes on. And I feel it is time for him to step up. But still, the question remains, is it really still all on him? We're going to still dive into that topic right here on Locked On Spurs with Casey Vieira. He's on X at Casey_Vieira. I'm on X at Jeff G. Spurs. So we'll be talking about Wemby in just a few seconds. Hey, I want to touch about FanDuel. NFL season is almost here. FanDuel is making sure you are ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Look, you love using FanDuel because, one, however you like to bet, player props, building the same game parlay, or even jumping into live action as it unfolds, you could do that on FanDuel. It makes every game more exciting, whether you're watching your team or just keeping an eye on how your fantasy lineup is going. Quick, easy, best way to add a little more energy to Sundays. So you're ready to play? Download the FanDuel app right now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. We're back right here on Locked On Spurs, joined by Casey Vieira. He's on X at Casey_Vieira. Make sure to follow him ASAP. We're talking about Wemby. Is it all on him to end this playoff drought starting next season, carry this team on his shoulders to beyond 82-game regular season schedule? We mentioned that in the first segment. We said absolutely yes. But is there another side to his, I don't want to say an excuse, Casey, but more like just the notion that, okay, yes, maybe it's primarily on him, but not necessarily all on him. So let's tackle that. So I think it's safe to say, because we talked about Fox, we didn't mention Castle, but Castle's there. We mentioned the backup there. Could you say that if this is not really all on Wemby, that this Spurs team is not just a one-man show?
I don't think any team is really a one-man show. It's just when you have a top 10 player, and really in any sport, when you have a top 10 player, one of the most polarizing figures in the sport, polarizing athletes in the world, there's just a different level of accountability that's assigned to them, whether it's fair or not. How many times was it? What was it? Is it particularly fair that LeBron in 2007, when the Spurs whacked him, that people look at that as like a real blemish on his resume when everyone in the world knew that team was going to get smacked? It was because it was LeBron and everybody else. This is a little bit of a different circumstance, of course, as I know, but the point being is that it comes with the territory of being the guy, not only the guy team, the guy of the league, and under that consistent microscope every single night. And that's what it's going to be this season, every single night. And it's already started to feel that way. The expectation was The Athletic. They released the thing the other day where they said the GM vote was that Spurs going to be the biggest improvement, and with the largest improvement, if I'm not mistaken, right? So the pressure is going to be there to win this year. And honestly, it should be. I'm sure the pressure is inside those four walls. They'll tell you the same thing too. I think there's a realization, a very valid justification in there for them to have the mindset that we're long past the rebuild now, guys. We're long past it. This is what we're rolling with. You tinker things along the way, but this is what we got. We're trying to win basketball games, and anything less would be a failure. Perhaps not a championship. I don't think anyone rationally would say that would be not winning a championship would be a failure, but not having a winning record this year, health barring major health concerns, I would say that's a failure.
Yeah. And here's the thing too, and I agree. Yes.
So I do think there's just a level of pressure that's there.
I do agree. Yes, there is a level of pressure there, and we're just looking at the other side of the argument. We definitely hammered away that it's all on him. But if we're looking at the other side, where maybe it's not on him, where you can also say, okay, fine. Well, then you brought in Fox for help. Wemby can't do it all. So then, maybe it's not just really necessarily on his shoulders. Maybe it's the two pieces. It's Fox and Wemby to help guide this team out of the playoff drought into the postseason. Now, if they make the play-in, that's good. It's good. I mean, I would see it more of a stepping stone to get to the postseason. But I think, and I agree, I think this team is good enough to get into the postseason. Now, if that's either via the play-in or, they secure like a 5 or a 6 seed. I mean, that'd be great. That'd be just awesome. But if Vegas projects about a 44-45 win, I don't know. Maybe that doesn't get you right there to 5 or 6. That'd be like high 40s. Yeah, high 40s or like low 50s for that. But nevertheless, maybe it's not just really all on Wemby. It's Wemby. It's Fox. It's Castle. They say basketball's a team game. Well, then you have the team pieces. We mentioned just 3 of those names right there. Then you got the wild card on all this. You got Dylan Harper, the rookie, who many think that maybe he was the better rookie over Flagg coming out of the draft. What if he shows out and really steps up this game in his rookie season? We mentioned about Vassell. What if Vassell, Casey, says, you know what? Yeah, I'm off the bench. I'm good. I mean, that would just really bolster that depth, that offensive punch coming off that bench with Keldon. So there's ways this team can say, you know what? Yes, maybe Wemby carries the bulk of it, but if we play our cards right and this player falls in line and Vassell takes a secondary role, in the reserves, we mix this around, Harper comes around, then perhaps the team has to shoulder everything. But I still know, and even when I talk it out, Casey, I'm like, Wemby still has to be the man in all this. He has to be the guy.
Because he's when they win a series, he's the one who's going to get a large chunk of the credit.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's just the way it goes. The Stars, and in order for them to win a playoff series, it would be deservedly so, because him not playing up to par, they're not going to win a playoff series. So in this particular circumstance, he had deservedly so getting the credit. But there is a big part of this now, though. I thought you brought up the De'Aaron Fox aspect angle a bit and pressure. There's a lot of pressure on him too. There's a lot of pressure on De'Aaron Fox with this situation this season, because by the sound of it, whether he was right, whether he was wrong, at the end of the day, he was still a star that forced his way out of town and forced himself to a situation, to a team where he wanted to be, flexed his superstar muscle. In many respects, it sounded kind of valid when they fired his coach, and they just didn't appear to instill a whole lot of confidence in him forward. So there are aspects of it that are valid to it. But that doesn't take away from the fact that the microscope's on you too. The bigger one's on Victor. That goes without saying. The biggest one goes on Victor. But Fox is not going to be a saint in this situation too if things don't work out, especially considering the 2 other guys who are going to be right there with him in Castle and Harper. Fox doesn't have a good postseason, or when they get to the postseason, Fox struggles in some of these big time games. These big time games come March, come April. That chatter about whether they should break the 3 guards up That's going to start just like that.
Yeah, it was
Absolutely. Just like that, because there's going to be spots where like, oh, we're void of talent here. Let's break up those three. Oh, let's steal Fox. He's already the most established all-star. That dialogue's going to come about right away. So yeah, I do think there is a lot of Wemby is going to have to weigh on his shoulders this year for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
but he's not. It's not alone. It's not alone.
Yeah,
Fox. What?
But yeah, if we're looking at a percentage scale, for me, I say the playoff hopes of the Spurs rest on Wemby's shoulders about 75 to 80%. He needs to show out. Yeah. The other 20, 25, maybe give it generous 30%. You're going to have to have your contributions from Fox, from Castle, even the new guys, Cornette, Olynyk, backing up that big man so he can get a rest and he can still be that force on the court. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the big questions heading into the season. Will Wemby finally step up to the plate, be that generational label that he was given way before he was even drafted, when he was still playing in France, and live up to it? So ultimately, yeah, I'm with you. I think it's still, no matter how you look at it, no matter how you spin it, it's on his shoulders. But we'll see how that pans out. Any final thoughts, Casey, before we hit a break?
They got to make the playoffs this year.
Yep.
They have to, in my opinion, I think, and I am differentiating playoffs and play-in here. They have to be one of the 8 teams in the place postseason, in my opinion, right now.
Yeah.
For what we've seen of Victor, for what they have done to put around him, there's no reason they can't be one of the 8 teams playing Western Conference come April, in my mind.
Absolutely. I would love to see that Frost Arena packed beyond the last game of the regular season. That'd be awesome to see. Hey, we're done talking about this topic. We can go on and on about it, but we got to move on. You let Casey know your thoughts about this topic on Casey. What's up?
Got to keep the line moving. We got things to talk about.
Yeah, got to keep everything going. Yeah, got to keep the flow going. But let Casey know your thoughts on his takes on X at Casey_Vieira. Let me know on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. We'll get back. We're going to get some fan comments. You guys are talking on the YouTube page. We'll pick 2 of them and wrap to that. Coming up right here on Locked On Spurs. Hey, we have an important request. Locked On wants to hear from you. We put together a survey to learn more about our listeners and make your favorite podcast even better. This is your chance to tell us what you like, what you don't like, answer questions about our advertising. Go to lockedonpodcast.com/survey to get started. Everyone who completes the survey will be entered for a chance to win one of 10 $100 Amazon gift cards. You heard that right. Again, that's lockedonpodcast.com/survey. You can find the link in the show notes. Thanks for helping us out. We're back right here on Locked On Spurs, joined by Casey Vieira. He is on X at Casey_Vieira. Follow him right now, especially if you're an NFL fan. More on that in just a few seconds. I'm very proud of my friend. I better stop because I'm going to spill the beans. So let me just stop right now. I'll let Casey do the honors in a few minutes here.
Spilled a couple.
All right,
of beans, not a lot.
Well, I just said vaguely NFL, and
everyone
are gonna, So
yeah.
Maybe I do it. Zip it. In case he's going to tell you in a few seconds. All right. So here we go. It's time for Locked On Spurs YouTube fan comments. Let's dive right in. You guys are leaving a bunch of them, but we're going to pick 2 of them. So let's pick this one here. I had it here, and here we go. This is from Andrew Polander. Yeah, I wonder that last name kind of leads into what his comment is about. Polander. He says, Casey, quote, Sohan will start, the other forward position, not sure. So Andrew here might be a little biased, but nevertheless says that Sohan is a definitive starter. Are you going to go that far to say he will definitely start come to the new season?
Did he say Sohan was the definitive and all the other 4 were not?
No, he said, quote, Sohan will start, and multiple exclamation points, not just one, like several. He goes, the other forward position, he's not too sure. but he definitely is penciling on Sohan.
So you're saying there's a world where Cornette's starting over Victor? Is that when he's
apparently? Yes, apparently.
That right there is sticking to your guy.
Yep, he is sticking to Sohan.
I you know me, I'm in the camp that I think Sohan is inconsistent. I think that a lot of the criticism that he does take is valid. But at the same time, I do think he does do a lot of things that this team needs. And I think when you look at the way this roster is laid out, it's best functioning when Jeremy Sohan's in the starting lineup and Devin Vassell's coming off the bench, because you need that scoring punch. Vassell's going to give you that. Sohan's not going to give you that. Sohan can be a complementary player out there when you have Fox and Castle and Victor and Harrison Barnes out there who can space the floor a little bit more. I do agree then with what was I know the last
Andrew
name.
Polander.
Andrew Polander. Okay. Would I put as many exclamation points next to that sentiment?
Yeah.
No. Do I agree with
He has about 7 exclamation points. There's about 7 of them.
Yeah, don't put one.
Firmly.
Don't put one after my statement.
There you go.
Not one, but I do agree with what he's saying. Yes, I do.
Yeah,
agree.
I do agree. I think Sohan will start. I think you need that guy that does a little bit of everything on the court. Hustle, rebounding, getting into the other players' jerseys, kind of getting feisty there. I think all that is necessary for this team. He will likely start. Now, I'm not going to be surprised, though, if Mitch plays with lineups to start the season before he settles on one. So maybe in the first month and a half-ish, we'll see multiple lineups just to see what they can play with. But for sure, I think I have Sohan penciled it into the starting unit. All right, good there. Good post there, Andrew Polander. Again, we can read between the lines. We know where you are cheering from. All right.
I think his last name is, do you think his last name is really Polander?
No. I think he's just a fan of Polish players. So I'm a Polander. When I go Andrew Polish,
I know.
I'm at that.
I'm just laughing. His last name's like Guillen or something like that.
You're right. It's like Smith or something like that.
I know.
All right.
He's from Barnard. He's from Barnard.
Yeah, exactly.
He's on the southwest side, Guillen.
Yeah. We're not sure Polander. Anyway, all right. The next comment comes from Phyllis, I believe. Nice try there, Phyllis. I see we're trying to do a little kind of a prank on there. But just to cut out that first start of it. So at blank Phyllis says, quote, Thunder went through the same struggles. So he's talking about the Spurs and the rebuild. They were already a first seed 2 seasons ago, and then their inexperience doomed them. But it also propelled them to a championship afterwards. All right, good question there, or post there, I should say, Phyllis. Appreciate that. I see what he's getting out here. No,
sorry. It took me a minute to put the 2 and 2 together. That's why.
I'll tell you what the full name is once we hit the end of the record button here, and you'll be like, "Oh, good catch, Jeff." No wonder why you kept out the first part there. I think you can figure it out. So
I could use I'm just laughing because it's so stupid. Because I'm like, what? I'm like sitting over here trying to figure out. I mean, you're gonna tell me after the show. I'm
gonna tell you after the show.
I have a pretty good idea where it is.
But anyway, so blank Phyllis. Yeah, says that basically,
Phyllis, man. Can't trust the Phyllis ever.
You can't, yeah. Good thing I had a quick eye on the head.
Jeff's like, my mom's name's Phyllis.
See, now you're gonna go there, man. Now you're gonna go that route. I think start a whole nother trend here.
No, like just a question.
All right. So basically, Phyllis
does have to say.
He's just saying, look, the Spurs, they're going to have to take their lumps just as the Thunder did. So again, just to recap Phyllis's comment here, Thunder went through the same struggles, rebuild, lessons learned. He even pointed out that they were a first seed 2 years ago, and still that didn't help them. Inexperience doomed them. But he says all that propelled them to a championship this past season. So it's weird. Everybody says that the Thunder is now the blueprint of what a team should be when years ago it was the Spurs what the blueprint should be. Now it's OKC. And it feels like the Spurs are following the Thunder blueprint. And hate to burst your bubble here, everybody. Even if the Spurs do make the postseason this season or upcoming season, they're probably going to get a valuable experience in playoff basketball and would not be surprised if they're one and done. But that's just part of the process. All NBA teams, whether they're on the rise and a rebuild, Casey, they go through this, don't they?
They always do.
Yeah.
It's cyclical. It is. So what was this was just the
It was just a statement. Not
what was the overriding point? What was the overriding sentiment you were looking for me to get at here?
Basically, just to let Spurs fans know that, hey, they're going to take their lumps much like the Thunder did.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
But listen, if they do it in the playoffs, if they go down, if they get out as the 7th seed and they go out in 5 games to Denver, you take the year, right?
Yeah.
They have a winning record. They lose in the first round. If they're the 7th seed, that means they would have won a play-in round, gotten themselves through the play-in, go into Denver, lose in 5 games. That's a successful season.
All right. Sounds good.
Opinion. And,
all right,
and a reasonable season. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that comment there, Phyllis. Leave it at that. Hey, let's do a bonus one here. Let's do a bonus comment here.
Okay.
Andrew, we gave you your shine right now, so I see, it's a good point here about Devin, but maybe we'll save that for another episode here. All right, here's one. This is from Mark Springs 2271. Casey, he says, well, I'm not going to read it all here, Mark, because you left the novel, but I'll just read the first sentence here. He says, out of all the Spurs lineups that had more than 100 minutes together last season, the best lineup was CP3. He's gone, but nevertheless, CP3, Vassell, Barnes, Wemby, and Sohan with a plus 16.3 net rating. That was better than OKC's starting lineup. So, again, not necessarily a question, but more of a statement here from Mark. Casey, so if we extrapolate that lineup, you take out CP3, put Fox in there. Is you okay with Fox, Vassell, Barnes, Wemby, and Sohan? Could that be your starting unit come opening night? So, yeah, he's basically saying CP3, Barnes, Wemby, what's he got on there? Vassell, Sohan. That was a good for a 16.3 net rating. You take out CP3, he's gone. Put in Fox, or you're going to put in Castle now?
Fox.
Yeah, I'm right there. I'm with you, Fox.
Yeah.
Fox. Yeah. You got to go with Fox. All right. That was a good point there, Mark Springs. We appreciate it. And again, we appreciate all the comments here. I'll leave it over the Locked On Spurs YouTube page. Keep it coming. Off season, we're almost out of it. Almost out about a month-ish. And then it's back to business with the San Antonio Spurs. All right. So I didn't let the cat out of the bag. I think I just opened the bag a bit and people could probably peek in. But Casey, you got something cooking. Don't you?
Perfect in time for football season. Allows me to wear a fan cap instead of the unbiased media member cap. Is the perk of not having a football team, an NFL team in San Antonio. So people may or may not know I'm unfortunately a big Raiders fan, and I have the opportunity to join the team at Digest Media.
Nice. Congratulations.
Coming very up and coming YouTube sports talk platform, and I will be doing their program. Oh, thank you. Hold for this one. There you go. Hold on.
Yeah, I got. I'll put the spotlight right on you there, Casey.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. I wish you would have given me forewarning about that. I'm glad I have like a stepping ladder over here. I'm glad I just knocked that out of the way. But yes, Digest Media, Raiders Digest, starting up this week, just in time for the NFL. I know there are Raiders fans who listen to this program, so you're going to want to check us out. Go, hit the sub button, and give us a follow. If you're a football fan, I'm ready to get football going.
You see, that announcement was worthy of a full screen.
It was,
Casey.
It was.
Also, too, it gave me a chance to put my other cap on while you're talking about the Raiders.
No, that's what it was. We can sympathize. One of the things we were talking about on the show was Raiders fans and sympathize. You know the meme with the blood in the crypt. They're stamped and they're holding the and the bandana. That's like Raiders fans and Cowboys fans after the Parsons trade. Carlo, Bill Mack.
I don't know. You know, that Parsons trade was kind of like, where were you at? I was actually driving downtown on the phone with a friend of the show, Rudy Campos. We talked about his scheduling to come on Locked On Spurs. In the middle of the conversation, he says, "Oh, bleep, they just traded Micah." That's the last thing I heard. And I was like, what? So, yeah, I know, like swerve. But yeah, I'm excited for you, Casey. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're, I didn't know you were a Raiders fan. I thought you were a Giants fan.
Well, I mean, it's very easy to assume. And the reality is, I can't stand the Giants. I like Eli Manning, but I can't. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's a complex growing up with a whole bunch of them in the tri-state area. Maybe that's why I've never been able to stand the Giants. So, but it's also very, a rational thought when people know I'm from there. They're like, "Oh, you're a Giants fan."
Yeah.
You're a Jets fan. Well, Jets don't bother me. Giants can never. I always laugh because I can never stand the Giants.
Yeah.
But I've had the great fortune of being a Raiders fan.
I lived in New York City for about 20 years, and that's one of my regrets. I never went to a Giants game. I went to a Jets game. I never went to a Giants game, and I never went to an Islander or the Rangers game. I always wanted to go to one. I just never did. But
I've never been a hockey guy.
I started getting into hockey when I used to live in Michigan. Yeah, I started getting into hockey when I lived in Michigan. I was just like an hour-ish drive away from Detroit. And I went to a couple of Red Wings games there. And let me tell you, man, Michigan, whew, oh my God, I was getting into it, man. I got a crash course in it. But that was the closest I got to becoming a really good NHL fan. But no, I think for me, oh, by the way, but I have been to Giants Stadium.
Yes.
Or I think it was still Giants because now it's MetLife, right? Wait, did I get that right?
Well, the new one's
right. Yeah, I was talking. Yeah, the old one, Giants Stadium. I've been to Giants Stadium not for a football game. I went to a U2 concert there, a U2 concert.
Oh,
and
it's a beautiful day.
It was at night in the rain, and I had
the contrary of the cliche.
Yeah, and I had like on the field tickets, where I can see Bono and all them, like as close as I am, like sitting courtside to the Spurs game, because at the old job I had in New York City, one of the big bosses there put out a mass email saying like, "Hey, I can't go to the U2 game. Who wants them? They're right in front of the stage." I remember running to that office. I'm like, "I'll take two." He's like, "Here you go. Just take them. Just take them." He's just trying to get rid of them. And that Giant Stadium was huge. I remember it was massive. I was like, "Oh my God." Like Roman Coliseum vibe in there.
That's what I tried to do whenever the Spurs tickets were up at when I was at Ken's. Yeah, for Gubs, who wants them? Vinny will always take them.
Yeah.
Vinny has never taken a Spurs ticket. I take advantage of any moment to talk about my pal, Mr. Vinzetta.
There you go. By the way, I've been trying to get him on the show, man. He's just a busy guy. It's like the worst time for him right now with high school football, NFL, Spurs about to start. So he's like, "I promise I'll get on as soon as I have a breather." But Vinny,
got a resort for the cast off.
You're not a cast off. You're not a cast off.
Yeah. I got to settle for the has been.
You're not a has been. Hey, a has been would not have their own freaking Raiders show.
That's fair.
That's right. That's right. Once again, where can fans check out you talking all
YouTube,
things
Raiders Digest starting this week?
Is the YouTube page live already? Like people can go there right now?
Yeah, should be.
Raiders Digest. Let me write that down. I'm gonna go subscribe to that ASAP.
It should be
Raiders.
If it's not, I'll talk to the people who make it live because it's a company. So
yeah, Well, congratulations. I think I told you about that. I inadvertently spilled the beans to Rudy Campos about it the other day, and but it worked in your benefit. So expect
there are worse people you could spill that information.
There you go.
Could have gone to Jimenez.
Oh God, yeah, he would have. You know what? I'm not going to light your fire there because you're going to get all angry at him. Yeah, and be like, he would have said what? But he even said, he goes, "Oh my God," he goes, "I'm going to bring him on my show." So expect an invite from.
I've never done a show I'm waiting on that phone call. Now that this is going to be out
there,
I'll be waiting.
I'll say it this way: it's not Disney like it is here because corporate. It's not Disney here, so heads up. Just giving you a heads up. Look, everybody. I wish it was a Disney here. I got marching orders.
I did a Men Idol show one time. That was a roller coaster. That was certainly That was certainly, as he likes to say, or formerly did say, that was an acquired taste for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
and he still is. By the way, he still is. So again, that is Raiders Digest on YouTube. You know what you do? Go on YouTube, type in that little search bar, Raider Digest, and they'll subscribe. You'll see Casey there doing his thing starting today. Hopefully, again, caveat: if all things goes to plan. All right, if all things go to plan. But if not, it'll definitely be there ASAP. So congratulations, Casey, once again.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it. I'll give you a subscription right now. Everybody should.
Oh, in case people are wondering, if they thought this was my swan song with the Spurs, it is not.
Oh no, stop.
It is not.
That is.
If the swan song comes with the Spurs, it will be more than a cameo on Locked On Spurs.
Yeah, Casey's not going anywhere from Locked On Spurs.
We'll have one Twitter post, and that'll be it.
Yeah, yeah. Casey's not leaving Locked On either here, Locked On Spurs, because you might be helping me out during the season, so you'll definitely see him pop in and out here more often than not. If his time available now, Mr. Raiders guy. So, I can't today, Jeff. I can't go to the game. Don't give me a pass because I got to do Raiders talk. All right, Casey. I see how it is.
NFL's machine, man. I don't make them more.
NFL is king in the United States. But again, Raiders Digest, everybody go check it out. And again, he is Mr. Casey Vieira. Follow him on X at Casey_Vieira. Hey, technically, it's still silver and black, everybody.
And
it's still silver and black.
Yeah,
so there it is. Yeah.
And when I get the decor a little bit more aligned, a little bit more biased to, I guess, the Raider side of things, as you know, it's still very general sports fandom in here, and so I do lighten things up. It'll be a very easy transition to go from my Raider days to cameos on here.
Spots on here. Easy. That's how it all comes together, everybody. It's all cyclical. All the universe screaming there. So Raiders Digest, everybody go check it out. Everybody else, so thank y'all for making Locked On Spurs your first listen each and every day. For any available where we get podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Kim's 5 Plus app, YouTube, you know what to do. Go check it out. We'll likely be back Friday. So we'll be back Friday here on Locked On Spurs, talking all things silver and black as the offseason is slowly but surely coming to an end, but we still got a month-ish. So we'll get you through it right here on Locked On Spurs. Check out Locked On NBA. That's on YouTube as well. Just search Locked On NBA, subscribe. All things going on in the NBA. Go listen to that and subscribe ASAP. So for Casey Vieira, I am Jeff Garcia. We're going to put a lock on this episode of Locked On Spurs.